Oh, we're painting?
I think
Why? You
so.
don't
That's what it looks like.
something simple. I thought you'd like that.
Okay.
Just you and me, it looks like.
Oh,
No, I
really?
got no, I got a couple more showing up, but they're gonna be late. So I gotta send a message, get everything set up here for you.
You are a busy boy.
Oh, I know. I probably should have scheduled this one, not scheduled this one, but I wasn't thinking that much. Figured,
Well,
I can do it. I can do it.
it's just a sand dune. So,
Right. And a little girl. And that's it. Some beach waves and some beach grasses. I figure we'll be done like 15 minutes. So how you been? Do you have a good weekend?
good. Yeah, real good. Now, it sounds like you had a grand time.
Yeah. Yeah, Holland's a nice place. They were real nice to me.
Now, how did you get that gig?
Um I was there last year with for Collie Wisson's workshop there,
Oh,
and they just liked me a lot and offered me to come teach one since they found when they found out I was close by and everything,
right.
and they get me cheap, so it was they were happy about that.
Well, yeah. Plus, you got a place not too far away.
Yeah, so they didn't have to pay for anybody staying or anything like that, so that's good. So and they'll probably have me back. They said they'll have me back, so it's good to have.
It's
Good to be there. Good to be
another
wanted.
gig. Another gig. Get your name out there.
Yeah, that's all it is. More gigs, more gigs. I got to get them out. I got to do it while I can. Well, the iron's hot, right?
Right.
Yeah, I'm kind of a little. I don't want to be too far back on that one. So there's Anne Marie showing up. Hi, Anne Marie.
Hello, hello.
Okay. Just gotta grab a. Oh, there. Grab a canvas. I'm only going to do this, probably a small one. So I think I can paint it faster.
What's
Yeah.
small to you?
Just a 12 by 16.
Oh,
Yeah, this is 12 by 16. Yeah, this is a photo from South Haven. I photographed last year when I was, or no, 2 years ago probably, when when the water was really high, when Lake Michigan was really, really high. It pushed all the dunes back, way back, and so the dunes look. I mean, would be where she is. Be all beach going out in front of her for a long ways before the water, but everything got pushed way back, and so it's interesting. I like the stuff on it, so I thought, yeah, well, let's try it for a nice one. That'll be fun little painting stuff. But Anne Marie, you owe me like a 3 or 4 paintings, right? Yeah, she does. Lynette, you're all caught up. Lynette, last week's was very nice. Your bird, your blue herring was very, very nice.
thank you. The blue, I don't know, almost looks a little purple, but I don't know. Maybe it's turning blue. I don't know. But I have to say that's a stunning photo. Boy.
Isn't that nice? Got a lot of richness to it.
Yes, and the colors are just really something. Yeah, so I do love it. So thank you.
I think everybody did such a good job on that one too. Very quickly too. I thought
Yeah.
for sure that was going to be a lot tougher. And that's always weird about these things is, how hard some things are and how easy some things are. Yeah, I really thought, painting all that stuff was going to take probably, a couple hours after class to finish it. And it was done.
Oh, yours is gorgeous.
Yours is gorgeous too.
Well, I'm improving. It's funny
You
how
are.
some things, though, anytime I do something on my own, it's never as good as in class because of colors and I don't know, whatever.
I know, but you were thinking on your lily pads, though. I could see your head thinking when you were painting.
Oh,
that.
okay.
So that was good. That was really good.
I made some of that up, so.
Yeah, nice. Good for you. You almost have to do it a little bit in every one you paint. So that's just the way it is.
Right.
So, all right. Let's see. Want me to pull it up and we'll talk about it?
Yeah, sure.
I'm glad you showed up at least, Lynette.
Well, I'm thinking we're painting.
Do I really want to show up today?
We're painting on Saturday at the plein air. That's right after my webinar, but I'm going to try and show up. So that'll be fun.
Oh, you got something on Friday?
Yeah, I got Thursday, Friday, where I train. We do the anger management training webinars. So yeah, I got 31 people. We got a big crowd.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah. Very nice. Lots of money. So
yeah.
Helps me help support my painting.
Oh yeah. Good for you. Good for you. Oh, a lot of angry people out there need managing.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right. Here we go. This is the scene again. This little girl. This dune. I was just looking through this dune, looking at this stuff, and looking at the waves. And all of a sudden, this little girl, comes back from the side there and start toweling off. I go, oh, okay. I'll just take some pictures. Nothing trying to be, no voyeurism or anything like that. She's just having to walk into my scene. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I was thinking this would be kind of fun to paint just because I was looking at these grasses coming up here.
Oh.
And little things and the footprints back there. And then, just the break in the grays and the greens and the stuff. I said, oh, that'd be kind of fun. And then you got the water. The water was crashing too, like that. You see those waves back there, and theirs are always fun to paint, aren't they?
Well, I love that. You remember the what did we do? We did a bird right in front of the waves. Remember that one? That was
yeah. Yeah, that was fun too. That was a really, really good one. So, yeah. So these grasses always are kind of unique. You see the sand dune and the grasses, and then you see the beach behind her. And then you see her. And then you see, the glimmers in the water. I think that's always a little key thing about painting these things. Keeping those guys under control. They have, if you look in here, they feel pink. They have a little bit of pink to them.
Oh.
Those guys. And I've been painting them a little corally, kind of like that. And for some reason, it just seems like it sits right. Not bright pink. It's kind of a dull green pink. It's going to be mixing in with this kind of green gray here we got here anyway. So it'll probably deaden out. Definitely, I've kind of felt like these back in here, this white back in here, definitely feels real pinkish on top of green, some green. So, and then these are more of the green with a little less pink. So it's a little crashing back there. So, and then the water itself, yeah, that's interesting stuff. That's going to be that's a big section, and that should go pretty quickly. Look at it, because there's really not much there except for a couple little dashes of from the water waves and stuff, the little dark dashes and the white dashes, easy to do. So we'll probably end up spending most of our time over here on the Dune and the girl. Let's see. Values. If you look at the value of of this gray here and stuff, you squint it down, it's pretty dark. It's going to be right around here. Maybe right here, but that's a 5, definitely a 5. And then this over here, this darker spot, yeah, he's going to come way down here at least. So that tells us a little bit, highlight wise, really down in here. It's really not that bright. It's probably going to be like a 3 highlight wise on the sand, and that's not going to be any big deal. Let me shrink it down. Yeah, the highlights on these guys are pretty bright. Probably don't go past the 2. I would say probably try to keep those guys, because if you go too far with that kind of contrast around them, they're just going to shoot up too bright and come forward. It's almost better to sneak up on the brightness. Maybe start with like a, see if 3 can work value, or a 2 work. That's 2. Sorry, get a 2 to work for you, and then sneak up to 1s if you have to. Maybe even start at 3. I think 3 is probably a better one to start at. The water itself, yeah, that's pretty dark again. If you squint down, it's really right here. So, and that is a 6. So, okay. So that tells you it's very, very mid-tony, probably lower end mid-tones. And then even the high end highlights, try to keep them, don't go too deep. And then I think there's no real black. It's kind of just stays right there, and right around 8s, 9, just a touch. Anyway, so that's what I'm thinking color wise. Yes, it's kind of like you got that sand color, and coming up with a few values of that for the feet marks here coming down. And then for the shadow, definitely have some greens in it. They definitely have a lot of red in them. So that tells you it's going to probably be green and red mixed with a lot of some white. So definitely phthalo green mixed with some white. Would probably is going to hit it right. Probably could be cad red. It might be some cad orange mix in there too.
Hey, can I ask a quick question, Jim?
Sure.
I can decipher colors pretty well, although I've learned a lot about mixing from you. But with the grayscale, I'm still learning, and I'm having a little trouble with the midtones, like determining what's what with the midtones.
Yeah.
I guess I just have to practice more and analyze it more, huh?
Well, some colors are easy to decipher because of when you squint down, the color goes out really quickly.
Yeah.
And then you can kind of figure out which one of these squares, this area is. Oops, let's go. This area is. You got to squint that all the way down, and then keeps getting till you get the gray out, and you kind of see. Yeah, it might go right in here. That's a value. It looks like it could be.
Uh-huh.
So that's really, and then the darks, of course, those are pretty easy. You squint down and really quick, and you can go, it's probably going to go right there.
Right.
So,
yeah. Okay.
So yeah, and reds are hard. I mean, the anything orange and red, it's just harder to get the color out quick.
Yeah, they're trickier. Yeah.
Yeah, and reds are very tricky because they they are a lot darker than you think they are.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll keep at it. Thank you.
No. Any questions like that are welcome. Here we go. Then we got back here in this water, definitely some phthalo green, but that's probably going to be on the cooler side since we're going to be using a lot of worms in this area. So I'd probably keep the water kind of cool. So it's going to be probably stay with the alizarin and phthalo green. So again, it's a lot of phthalo green mixed in here. Not much blue. You know, we might use some blue for these greens. Maybe we'll switch off instead of me using phthalo green to start those guys. We'll just use some blue instead, blue and ochre or something like that. That could be nice. A girl herself. Let me see. I got to get up here. Girl herself. You don't see anything, right? She's really, very dark. That's a dark red and stuff. And if you really squint at it, I mean, it's almost right here too. It's almost the same value as we got right in here, but maybe just a little more red in it. That's be interesting in her, to get working through. You'll also have a little bit of toughness right here where you got a little bit of transparency in the towel seeing through. So that kind of using that to, show her form. Those are always interesting to do, and being a little girl, there's really nothing, that everything's pretty straight. We don't have to worry about any hips or any chest or anything like that. It's pretty simple. Hair, I mean, we don't see any face, so that's always quite easy to do. The top of the head, I would say when we get to there, definitely we're going to look for a little bit stronger highlight on the top of her head up here, just to pop that head out to get some interest. I mean, you got a little bit of light on her feet. You got a little light on the towel here. So just a little more light around up the top, coming down a little bit. We'll probably enhance this a little bit. The stripes, well, let's see how, I don't mind putting in a few stripes, but I don't know about all those stripes. Let's see what we can do there.
Seems like it would be distracting to be that detailed, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think if we squint that down, just like we did with the color and stuff, just go for a basic value, keep it consistent which one you grab. If you're gonna grab here and here, making sure that this side's a little darker, this side's a little lighter with the transparent, but the value is the same. You could probably paint that whole thing, and probably when you know it, we're going to go that way first anyway, and not worry about the stripes. And they can be like you said, just a little. We can bring a couple in. We can just make it a regular striped towel. We don't have to make all those little ones and big ones in there. But that's we can get there. That's the last little details I'd probably even be digging into. Okay. Anything else on this? It's a really good, nice design, just coming down here, everything kind of swooping down, coming back, and then bringing it back. So it should be a nice little one. If anything, I would say, you might want to just give her a little more space in here. That's probably what I'll do. Is probably going to do it naturally anyway. Just give her a little more space right there. Move this. Take all that information, just slide it back a little bit, and add a little more beach scene to it. Clean this up a little bit. Make sure you get that nice shadow of her in there nicely. And then just keep this area really kind of a little cleaner around her. We'll make this an easier, quicker read. Otherwise, this little area is probably going to be kind of a mess. Not a mess, but just, very busy, a little confusing. So I think just sliding that thing back will make it nice, clean read, and simplify everything. Okay. Any other questions?
You're gonna do it vertically?
Yeah, I'm gonna do mine vertical.
Oh,
You? Why? You want to do
Well,
a horizontal?
here's what I did. I printed it out. I think the way it came was like horizontal or way it printed, but then I did more of a close up so I could get more water in.
Ah, okay.
So I don't know if that's okay with you.
So you brought her down here and just more and more of this?
Yeah, I did that. And yeah.
That'll work. Good going, Lynette. That's really great. Congrats. That's the way to think about it. You got to make it work for you. If you see a better cropping or something you rather do, that's fine. That's great. I want you to be, you got to take this and make it yours. And that's the first step. Is always just, changing it a little bit.
Yeah.
And so that's good. That's good.
Well, it'll be fun, but I'm going to have to get that extra wave in. So up there.
You can try. I mean, you'll get it in there. You can always shrink that one down in the back.
Yeah.
You can always shrink that guy down. You don't have to, even if you lost a little bit of those waves up there and stuff, it's still a good scene.
I was
You got 'em in.
I was thinking about maybe doing this as a square, but I don't know.
There's your square almost right there,
Yeah.
if you're just going to use it, so a square would work too, or vertical. So that's the kind of photos I take. I take ones that can work anyway, right? Any way you want. They all work.
Oh, it's funny.
Yeah, thank you. I'll be here all week, right? All right, let's get over and mix some paints. Here we go. Bring it down. I don't think this printout's too bad either. Do you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, I don't think this printout's too bad. I think it's the water might be a little brighter or greener and stuff, but not by a whole lot. Sorry, just took out all my stuff from the workshop and just kind of plopped it in here. Used up almost all my phthalo green in that workshop. Running low. But I'm gonna put out what I have and we're gonna go for it. Save that just in case I need a smidgen. Colors, pretty simple again. We're basically our regular palette here. We got our we have our titanium white, got phthalo or cad yellow light. I have some cad red light. I got cad medium out too, cad red medium, cad orange, some ochre, and some, this is, I thought this stuff looked too good to be true. But this is oxide red light, alizarin, cobalt blue hue, phthalo green, burnt sienna. This is nothing. This is oxide red brown, which is almost like burnt umber, which probably would have been fine in here too. But I want to get it. It's hard as a rock. Okay, colors. All right. I think I just mentioned ahead of time. what colors I was going to start off with. So let's start off with those. Some phthalo greens and alizarin. I'm going to take, this is probably going to be a little dark for most right now. I don't even know if I'll be able to use any of this anywhere. But phthalo green and alizarin, one on each side. One on the red alizarin side, one on the phthalo green side. This should be the alizarin side. I think that's the phthalo greenish side. Okay. The next color again is phthalo. And I might need a we'll see how big, how much I need of this, but I think I'm going to go with oxide red and phthalo on the oxide red side. You get that red brown and stuff. That's what I was thinking was going to be here. Maybe it's on the more on the green side. We'll see. Oxide red. I can pull it out. Getting that in here.
Okay, sorry. What was the first mix? Sorry.
Yep.
What was the
Phthalo green and alizarin.
alizarin?
Yeah, or rose madder if you are Rembrandt.
Thanks.
Yep. So we have those colors. I think the other ones I'm going to do some more phthalo green here. And I'm going to go and shoot for some cad red light in these phthalo greens. Going to keep it pretty much on the red side. Basically, there's going to be like a red brown almost here, or a kind of an orange. That can be in here. This is going to be on a little bit more on the green side. Both these colors will probably get really toned down. I'm thinking that these colors are gonna really end up being a lot of the sand values, but we will find out. Could be wrong. I was wrong all weekend. That workshop could have been the lighting too. Why I was wrong. Now, it seemed like my cat orange just didn't want to work the way it does here.
Now we're doing green with orange.
Yes, green with cat orange. And here I am trying to use up my cat orange without opening up a new one. And I might have, that's usually always a bad plan.
One on the green side, one on the orange side.
You got it. Thank you.
We should have this memorized.
You do have it memorized. You good girl. All right. I'm thinking a lot of this stuff here. I'm going to do one more. I'm going to do blue and ochre. Looking for a little calm down. Calmer greens here. Or maybe some of the beach grass, so it doesn't have to be too strong. I can spike these up with some cad yellow really quickly, but I want to just go with ochre first. So one on the blue side, one on the ochre side. My ochre's not doing much. This blue. There you go. We'll leave that there for now. So I got to kind of dull down. That might even be good for the water. Let me look. It's a little green, but it could be, these guys could work.
Yeah, my printer didn't print out the water very well. It looks real green, but yours looks better.
Yeah, well, look, my monitor says it's kind of has more on the blue side, and then comes down here to more of a red side. And definitely, it's like a phthalo green and alizarin mix coming down, and then moving to the alizarin side right here. But this guy, but also it looks like this value, phthalo green just kind of turns a little bluish, so that's why that blue probably could work really well there too. We will see. We will see. I'm not gonna, let's tone these guys down a little bit and see what happens. I'm gonna go for bring down piece of these guys. Thinking definitely these guys are probably gonna end up being the Lake Michigan here. And that's gonna be like, well, it's not even that much. It's like a third of the paint, a quarter of the paint. That's not too much. This should be interesting. This oxide red and green mixes. Red mix, CAD mix. Don't even know how much. This is pretty good too. These guys should tone down pretty nicely. Okay, I'll keep going. Maybe I'll add yellow to these guys instead of white. More, they're easy to make. It's nice putty green, Okay, so let's cut these guys with white. These colors here are probably going to end up being in the water, so that value is really probably closer to a 5. So let me start with some white. Probably half and half would be good. As you can see, it's good. That's holding up. It's a little dark. Good. A little dark, so I can go one more step, add some more white. This was a good mix of phthalo green and alizarin. You could see it right down the middle. It didn't really, change too much. This is just a little dark yet. So I would say I'm going to have to go on a little more on the green side on this one yet. But I really like the color. So, and I think if I get it to the right value first here, before I add green, I think I'll just going to steal a little bit of this pile and move it off to the side because it's such a great mid-tone. So I'm going to take a little bit of this and just keep it right here. This pile here is going to be more of the water. It just needs a little bit more green into it. Just a little bit more green. There we go. Just needs to show a little bit better. Nice value. There we go. That's really pretty close. That might be it. And it might even be the more red side. I'm just you can keep that one there. Now I got a kind of grayish one. That one, even if I lighten up, could be a nice highlight in the water. Then this is the alizarin. On the alizarin side, phthalo green and alizarin. Okay. Just see how much white that's going to take to get it up. Get it to like a 4. Let me see. Let's get really close quick. Probably going to grab my paint, put out some more white here. Now, put out a lot of white. Caps. My caps want to go back on these days. Okay. So that's on the alizarin side, just a little bit. It's almost like this one is. This one where this one is just a little bit gray. This is a little bit cooler gray. I'd like to have this be just a little more red. So I'm gonna add just a little bit more alizarin to it. There we go. I can see that in there. I can see that. I can see that right in here in this water. It seems a little warmer in my photo, but it's in fact very more of a alizarin than mixed up and stuff in there. That's good. I got this. So that's my water pretty much, except for some highlights. Okay. Let's go on to a few of these other ones. Let's see if I can get some sand color out of these guys. Or shadows. Again, this is phthalo green and oxide red light. You can see that's, yeah, this is all over in the place. This is green, should be all over it in there too. Joe, just a little bit more green. That's not bad. That can be in, definitely I see this in some of the grasses. Dune grasses is kind of a blue green kind of a thing in a few of these little spikes and stuff. So you might save a little bit of that again and just add just a little more cad red or oxide red to this mix just to tone this out again. Still on the green side, but not as much. We're going to leave this kind of a, what value is that? Yeah, this is about the right value for this kind of stuff right in here. It's more taking over. Let's see, this is the cad red and green. Okay, again, this is more of a mid-tone thing. I might add just a little more red to it just to pop it a little bit more. That green's really neutralizing it, so that's bringing it out. Definitely warmed it up. That's going to be pretty good. Just a little white to that again. This is the green side of the cad red and green, and you start to see what happens when I kind of over white it like that. It really starts to not be too much. I'm gonna leave it there. I think I might have a plan for it. Let me look at this color. Definitely these two colors can work good. I tell you, they are a lot. When I put them up to the photo, they look really kind of red pink here. But you put it over the photo and it turns green. So it's kind of weird. Maybe it's just my eyes. Could be my eyes. Okay, let's put some white into these guys. Let's see if we can start getting at least some sand colors out of these things. Anything I can use for sand. That's green. That has nothing to do with it. This is on the orange side. There we go. Orange side, but still. Yeah, it still has nothing to do with the painting yet. All right. I have to redden those guys out. These are the greens. This is what I was thinking I might end up using a couple touches of this in a few things. Huh, that did not do it. These are going to be definitely be in some of the weeds here, the grasses, beach grasses. Not much though. It's not. I got probably more here than I will probably need. These guys are going to be more like dots of light than anything else. So they're probably going to be too dark for that. I'm just going to darken them in a little bit more. Just too. Yeah, they're gonna be down in here at the bottom. Okay. Let's make up the sand. I didn't thought for sure I'd gonna get it from here. I should have been able to get it from here. Some cad red. And just a little bit of phthalo green. Mostly on the cad red side like this. Mixed with white. Half and half right now. Really on the red side. Put it up. That's, you know, not really too bad. Save a little bit of piece of that. I'm going to just really whiten it down and trying to get the basic color value for this sand here. And then I'm going to shift this color. So it's going to make one big pile.
If you need me further, just let me know.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh.
Okay, one big pile. This is still a little dark. So really a lot more white go into it. Get it
Yeah,
up.
thanks.
There we go. Value.
Sorry
Nice.
about that outburst.
Ah, I understand.
My dog walker just left, so I was yelling, thank you.
That's good. This is so yeah. No, I understand. At least you weren't yelling at or something else. Hey,
You're right.
come back here. All right. So this kind of pinky, cad red, phthalo green, a lot of cad red, a little bit of phthalo green only in here, and then a bunch of white to get it to the value of 4. Yep. Right row, value of 4. I'm going to take and split this pile because I don't think it's warm enough. Definitely going to take one and put yellow ochre into. And see what happens. Did not move it much, but not enough either. Wow. I am seeing a lot of white here. It's like not really moving as much as I thought it would.
We're using yellow now.
Yeah, I just put in some ochre. I'm going to try some cad yellow though, because it just didn't do anything. I'm trying not, I figured it needs to be kind of a dead, not too bright of a color. So I just was more willing to get there with ochre, but ochre just kind of darkened it up and did not really move it. So I'm just using just a little bit of cad yellow into it. That probably should have stayed where I was, but that's okay. That's good. This is a lot closer to what I wanted. These guys just a little pink. I probably should have went with like a cad orange here. Again. No, that's not a color I put in there. All right. Trying to get away without reaching in here and grabbing some cad orange and digging for it. But I know everything's a mess right now. But I had to do it. I have to get some clean cad orange out. Get these guys out of the water. So yeah. So this one, let's try a little cad orange in. If not, I might have to go with cad orange and white on it.
Okay, what are these colors, please? I'm behind.
Good. Oh, good. You were ahead. I'd be going, oh my God. What did I do? right? These colors here.
Yes.
These ones up here, we started off with just some cad red, mostly cad red, just a little touch of phthalo green and white. Here we took it and I just added a lot more white to it. Here I brought it over here and I added some ochre to it, trying to get some more yellow out of it and white. Here I added, decided it was not getting there. It wasn't warm enough. So I added some cad yellow. And over here to a piece of this color pink, I added some cad orange, trying to see what colors got this. I can get this to be. Which family am I falling into? Okay, I think it's going to be live at all three of these guys. These are going to be like the midtone values mostly. So I'm going to have to take these guys up probably to a lot of white. And I take a piece of each one of these guys and add some white to it and finish it off. Just a little bit of color. This yellow one. Let's see. This is way up there. This is like a number 2, I would say. Yeah, definitely a 2. And yes, good. It's too bright for anything. This is the pink one with the ochre in it, which didn't, like I said, didn't go in very far. Well, that's too bright too, so I'm close. So I'm going to go back to these, the more other pile up here, tone them down. Okay, good. They just need to be grayed out a little bit now because they're just too pure feeling. Graying out, just like adding a little purple or something to each one of these guys. I mean, just a scratch of purple to gray to get them be not so strong. Definitely too strong. Let's see what this orange does. Boy. Sand is, I know I could have got it probably with just burnt sienna and white. Probably would have been a lot closer.
Mine does not look like yours.
That's good. Hopefully you're right. I'm working on it. I got these colors too bright and I got them too they're not they just need to be grayed out. Okay, here we go. Let's try that. This is burnt sienna and white, which I hate going there. Okay, I'm going to put just a little bit of blue, this gray I made up, and put that in here. Oh boy, that just knocked it right. Oh geez. Yeah, it's real close. Just need to put a little blue gray into each color just to gray them into the sand. Yeah, that's beautiful. This works. Okay, that blue gray you could probably just use. It's phthalo green and alizarin with white. I just used a little bit of that. Just took a little bit of this, just putting it into each pile just to knock it off. It's brightness key. It's just so bright. It just doesn't work with any of these colors at all. And as soon as I did that, I'm like, oh, now it's beautiful. Now you want to play. Okay, fine. Just a little gray in each one of these guys. So I'll go through that again. Yeah, that's all over the place. Gee. Okay. Then we just got to do the little girl. Trying not to mix all my colors so they all look the same. So it's like still trying to keep separation without losing all my color. This is back at the very beginning. That really just sets it up so much better. And then this green, because this orange was not in there at all, I know. Just tone it down, get that orange out of there, gray it out, make it come closer to the home value. It's even still too bright. It really could be gray and not. Probably could have started off with this color and toned it down, got closer to where I am. Anyway, that's just me. I know Lynette has these all perfect, right, Lynette? Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you know me and mixing colors. I'm really good at it.
Yeah, I'm sure you nailed it.
No.
Well, basically, these colors had too much chroma in them. They were just too bright. They had too much orange or too much yellow or too much red in them. So graying them out with like a kind of a blue gray that was made up from these two guys, was really a good. I really worked well. Now I can just, if I can just get these highlight colors here in the sand. Yeah, not to be too bright, too close to, all of a sudden they went from that. Yeah, there you go. These two, they work now. That one works fine. Let me take this color here too. This cat orange mix here. Just gray that out too. Cat orange and phthalo green mix with a lot of white in it. It just kind of doesn't really, it goes into the grasses and stuff, but I don't need that much. So I'm gonna just gray it out too. Because there's a little bit of warmth in the sand right in here. And I was thinking maybe it's yellow and stuff, and maybe this warmer kind of color might get in there, but nope. Best thinking did not work. Leave it. All right. Lots of colors there. Something will work. I'll get a combination. Make sure I'll call them off. Okay, the girl and the blank and her. Let's start off with some alizarin and blue together, mostly on the alizarin side, I would say. So it's a little rich like this. And we go for the value, so you can see I am a couple degrees dark. Yeah, a little bit too dark. So I'm gonna just add a touch of white to it. Just a little bit there. That helps. That's pretty close. A little red though. So maybe I'll put a little green in it to take a piece that's put a little green in it to gray it out. Okay. So take one piece, put a little green in it. Take one piece, I want to put a little red in it for her legs. I think her legs could be a little warmer. So I'm gonna put a little cad red into this mix. And this will be most of her body. This will be her hair, or more of her hair. Or maybe this will too. Let's do a little more cad red one too. I'm gonna take this color and just add some white to it now. Some of this pink. See if I can get the blanket color value, and then I'll tone it up. Trying to get this up here, as you can see. It's a warm red, so it's definitely gonna be cad red light in here with a little bit of alizarin to make it behave. And you get a lot closer. Okay, that's good. And then I'll probably just mix some of this blue together with that. That's just how it's going to be. It's going to be really quite simple. It's just going to be mixing these 4 colors together to get all these things. That works really well. All right. Colors. You're going to go through the colors. Yay. I know, fine. An easy one, and it's still I mixed up way too many colors, but what am I gonna do, right? Sorry. I think of the last week's I mixed up less color. Or that was even a harder one. It's weird sometimes. This is phthalo green and alizarin mixed down with white, and probably going to mix it down a little bit more, down one more step for some highlights in the water. I figured I'm going to get the water out of these 2 colors, but I'm still probably going to need to get these guys a little brighter for a little bit of highlights on the top of the water, some glistens and stuff like that. Again, this is a oxide red light in phthalo green on the oxide red side and the phthalo green side coming down. This I left it on the green side here and on the red side there. Add a little more red to it, I think. And then over here, I just left it on the right in the mid-tone of both of them. So I got this kind of gray mix. Figure I'm going to have some. I think there's going to be some nice areas in here that this mix will be like more nice for a neutral kind of color. This is a cad red light with phthalo green, and it's on the phthalo green side coming down mixed up. I was hoping to get a little bit more sand down in here color and getting into some of the shore here, and then working it up into this sand dune here. This is cad red orange. So it's cad orange with phthalo green and more cad orange. Bringing those guys down, as you can see, a little bit whitish here. That's a little yellowish out of that color and stuff. I might be able to use some of these colors for the sand dune for these grasses and stuff. Again, some more phthalo. This is just blue and ochre, yellow ochre. These 2, one on the blue side, one on the green side, yellow side, and bring them down with white. Over here, I started with cad red, and a lot of cad red and just a little phthalo green, and then white to get this color. But it was a little bit too bright, so I took a mix of these 2 that was like a really nice mid gray color, and added it to that and to all of these colors here. These were just a mix of these guys. I added more white to it and got to this little pinkier area color. Like I said, when I split that into a few little spots, this one I added some some yellow ochre. This one I added regular cad yellow to. This one I added cad orange to. And this one I didn't do much. I just kind of add some of that gray to it and grayed it out. But that's what I had to do with all these colors, to add some gray to them, just to gray them out, because the intensity was showing up too strong. These are just those same colors, just with a little bit more white this putty color came from this light cat orange and phthalo green mix with white. I added just a little bit of a gray to it, just trying to gray it down. I was hoping to find a few spots in the sand I might be able to use that. Then the girl, I started off with alizarin and blue, which was working out. I added to lighten it up to get her back into space. Then I added just a little cad red to it on this side, and over here I added a little phthalo green to it. Trying to get a little bit closer to her hair so I can use a little bit of these colors to pull out her hair. Yeah, I'm gonna pull her hair out, right? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Here I added some white to it and started getting the towel color, and then I needed to get a little darker, so I added some more alizarin back into it. Or no, I didn't alizarin. I added a little phthalo green to it. So that's how I'm going to be doing a lot of the rest of the stuff. It's just adding a little bit more light colors to these things. I'm not going to be like mixing in too many more colors. I'm hoping, but that's a good start. That's way too many colors for this thing. This thing I thought was only gonna be like a 4-color job. No, but it's like all those colors. Like, oh, but we got to get going. So we're gonna leave it there. Gonna leave it there. I wish I would have had it on the right camera. You guys didn't say anything.
I was thinking it.
Oh man. Anyway, that's all right. I can fix that. No, I can't. Well, we're having fun. So I'm gonna come back here and get this thing moving. I'm gonna bring this in a little closer today. I am working on a little bit smaller canvas. And I do appreciate you guys showing up. This. Bring it up. Just trim this a little bit more. Okay, good. I have run out of room. I'll stick this back up here. I'm going to tone my canvas probably with a little burnt sienna. And we'll get going. Draw it in, burnt sienna. Keep it a little easier on top. All right. Keep tight up here. Like I said, just can bring it over a little bit more. Find a place for her right about there. I think I'm just gonna take this hill down a little bit here too. I'll use that for the grass height. And I'll use this for the hill height. Then get that plane at the top, flat plane, and then pretty much everything else just kind of drags down from here on down. The grass is here. Token grass there. Okay. Beach area. I'm just going to slide around. I want it right. I'm going to move over just right there. But that's just where I'm marking it for myself. For later. We got all the water to do first. Now. Okay, and then arcing waves here. Okay, I'm gonna start with my darker colors, phthalo greens and the alizarin. I'm gonna put at least the green one a little bit. I'm gonna keep it a little light, so I'm gonna have a little bit more oil on my brush here, so it's not going in like full strength. Right here in that one edge here, that little triangle coming down. Right.
What color is this here? The green and the
Yeah, green and alizarin and green and alizarin. Green's in front. Maybe I'll put a little red one just behind it a little bit for this little bit of that grass thing right here on this edge. Boy, just didn't probably get enough red in that. We'll just touch it in a little bit. A little dark. We'll work it back into here too, some of that red right in here. While I got that, I'm just going to mark these little spots here, the smooshy where the grasses go in. We put a little darkness. That's pretty much what's you're gonna need. A little more red in it, that corner, and some of these folded over dead grasses here too. Just a little more of that alizarin and phthalo green mix on the alizarin side, right here in the bottom part. Looks really good. Okay.
Already it looks like something.
Doesn't it? Oh, it looks like I don't know. Yeah, it looks like something. Yeah.
I just love your process. It's taken me a while to catch on, but I really do.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's nothing. You got to do it for a little bit, but you can see that it's just kind of how it works and how things just start to work together pretty quickly too. And you can just take your time now, and you can just, instead of always mixing colors, you can just see what's going on here and pay attention to it. And pretty much a lot of these colors just seem like they just work themselves out a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep this thin green and stuff with alizarin going. I think I can see it right in here in this stuff, and I see it underneath. And so I'm going to put it underneath. Then when I put the secondary color on top of this, I'll just leave a little bit of this dark showing. I think it's gonna be effective and do the job.
So no, when you just did this, you did the dark, and then to the left of that, what you're doing now, well, what you were just a minute ago. Did you add medium? Did you add oil to that or anything?
Yeah, I have a little bit of oil on this brush now, which did thin it out a lot. But I try not to. It's really, and when I work it out, it's just barely enough to keep it from running. It's not running or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's one of those things you got to watch, how much oil you're really adding to it. But it seems like working on these linen panels, they really hold that stuff at bay pretty well. Okay, one of the things when I'm going to do this, do this section of the dune coming down. You want to make sure you don't have everything together. You want to make sections. So you got this section is a little steeper coming in. This section over here is a little shallower, but it's kind of swoops in and comes in, and they all kind of join right over here, And then there's this side here, which kind of goes down and over. So, just thinking about this section of sand is going to be a different color than this section of sand. And this section of sand is going to be different color too. Of course, the top's going to be different color also. So, it's going to be lighter and stuff like that. But these guys, so I could be more red, more little orangey on this stuff, maybe more yellow on this side. So that'll give me some depth and separate these sides out. And just like, they're going to be really close in value, very, built off each other. So it shouldn't be a big deal. I still got that phthalo green and things going in here. So I'm going to just go in and start thinking about the water. I'm putting in just a little more strength into my color here. So this is the phthalo green alizarin mix on the green side with just a little bit of white. And just going to get these shapes in of the water. I went back up and I darkened this color up a little bit too. So as I come down, I can make it a little lighter. But I was feeling it was just a hair too light to begin with. I'd rather have something dark a little darker underneath to grab onto it. I'm going to bring that to this section here. This just that line right here in the almost right next to the sand dune. It comes down here. I'll probably move that down here, and then I'm going to switch it over to the purple side. So when I say purple side, I mean just more alizarin side of that color. So that's showing up just a little bit darker, more redder right in here. Where the girl is. I'm just going to keep it. Not going to worry about the girl. So I don't know where her parents are. They just let her roam this beach like that. I can't believe it. Anyway, no, I'm just going to work this purple back in a little bit. It's Michigan, Lake Michigan. What would happen, right? What could happen? Okay, now this color is the same color again. So alizarin and phthalo green, but this on the alizarin side, just a little bit more white. And just as we come down here about the bottom third of this shape here, and I'm just going to bring it in on right behind her where she's going to go. Just drag a few of these into this section in here. Probably going to bring a little more green back into it too, right here at the bottom. So it goes everywhere, and then all of a sudden it turns back to a little greenish right here as it hits the sand. Okay, now if we go to the next color, this is we're using oxide red and phthalo green. I'm going to use that here to start this back wave here that's going back. It's finished rolling back. And so that has just a little bit of that red into it, a little green into it. Not enough green. So that's why I'm going to go to the green side and put that right on top of that red. Right on top of it. You know, not so I have a hard line underneath that shape. The shape is red on the red side. Right on top of it, the line that we make, that's a green. That's a more phthalo green. And that goes right into almost where that wave starts going. We can use that for a lot of stuff, I think. Yeah, we'll get back in here. We start dragging that wave. This is a shadow area I'm doing, guys, too. I'm painting the shadow area. Not where the white is yet. Just because of.
Well, because you're going from dark to light, right?
Yeah, I'm going dark to light. Good. Way to go. Congrats.
I catch on. See, I catch on quick.
You did. You got it. The rain in Spain is mostly in the plane.
Mainly in the plane.
You just
But
explain how did you make the wave?
What wave?
I see waves.
Okay. That's what if you were listening in on our conversation, no. This color now, after I did you saw when I did the phthalo green and alizarin mixes.
Yes.
Mostly green up here, then down in here, got closer. And that one little spot here that kind of changes up here. Oh, you can't see that. I'll bring it down here.
You're trying to confuse us?
Thank you.
This shot, I know I didn't have mixed all my colors and you guys couldn't see them and you guys just let me go. You know, okay. This section up here is going to be mostly in the phthalo green side, and then all of a sudden it starts working itself into some more on the alizarin side down in here, right? And then I just at this bottom part, right here where it meets the sand, right on the sand, it goes back to a little bit of phthalo green, more phthalo green than alizarin. It's barely any in there. Might need a little more red in here now. I'm looking at it, but not bad. But this color here, to start making these waves, these back waves and underneath these other waves, I just moved over to the oxide red light and phthalo green mix. And this is on the red side. This color here is on the red side underneath this thing, this line, basically. And then right on top of that line, where the water flattens out, that's where I put the other side, the one with the more phthalo green into it, right on top of that line, where that line is. So these two, and then worked it in on the back a little bit, and then also started work. That also took me to this wave in the back here. I started working it in. It's just a little mix of reds, a little mix of greens going in here, of red greens. So, and then the white should come through that pretty good. All right. Good.
Easy.
I know. Okay, the next, you okay or no?
Oh, I'm okay. I'm just I'm finger painting now.
Okay, you finger paint. You finger paint. We need a finger painters. So now I'm moving on to my next color, which was the phthalo green and cad red light mix. And mostly cad red. Really started pushing off of the phthalo green, leaving that back a little bit. And where I'm seeing that is right here on the top, coming down to some of these a lot of roots and coming through here on the edges here and stuff. So I'm putting a little bit of that cad red, really heavy side, the red side in there. I don't see a ton of any of the green really showing up. This color too will probably end up down in here, closer to some of these dead grass areas and things. So I'm just going to shove a little bit of that in here now too. In the spots I kind of see little, lines here. You can just see the roots, dead grass lines here, and just getting some red into that, a little bit more into the roots here. I got the phthalo green and mixed in already. Now I'm just going to add just a little scratch of warmth to it on one side. Same over here. We can just start getting a few of these guys built in. Okay. Now, if I take those colors if I mix these with red, I mean the phthalo green and cad red, and then we mix it down with some white. I'm thinking it's this color right here in the wet sand. See? It's going to lay these colors in there, and we'll see how correct we can be. Basically, I don't want a perfect line here, so I'm going to just come back and bend it a little bit. I know it's just kind of for that, and then come down as I get into right here, this bottom section right here. I'm going to go back to the green side just to gray it up right here, dirty it up, and push it back towards the girl. I think I'm going to go with just a little bit. I might come over here and grab a little bit of that and put it in here too. Work it into this wet sand closer towards the water here. Looks like I need just a little warmth in that purple right in here. That warmth would be kind of has a little red to it. Maybe it's more the sand color again. Right in the middle of this area there. She's a little green too. Okay, we're gonna go with that. Better. Okay. All right. Well, that was it. I'm done. I think we're good. Yeah, we're good.
It's beautiful already.
Sure is.
Oh, you see, you guys are my favorites.
No,
You're done.
but
You're done.
I noticed on several of
Okay, I heard that. It's Monica.
Oh, Monica shows up.
I
Hey.
so I
heard that you said that they were your favorites.
I say that to everybody when they're not here or no one else. Is,
yeah, right. So I believe that. So I saw now I noticed from several of our painting projects that when you're kind of just laying in the foreground, you do like a back and forth brush thing. Is there a reason for that, or is it just shorthand, or what?
I'm kind of I'm basically kind of just sketching it in with just
Yeah.
really broad strokes. I'm thinking like, also thinking of sort of shapes that I kind of see that are right here in the bottom of the thing. So I kind of lay those guys in
Okay.
and then I kind of feel like I'm gonna, as the painting progresses, I'll be able to just do a few quick shapes there, and it should softly be about right. I don't have,
Yeah,
and I
okay.
won't, I don't want to do much work.
That
you know.
makes sense, but I mean, right now, I mean, it looks good just as a suggestion now, but I know we're not nearly done, but
I think I do too. I think, thanks. That's kind of where I was coming out already, that, down here is really not much in there I want to show. I don't really want to, I don't want to play that up too much. I want you to get back in here. So basically I'm just going to try and, use some of these grasses that help push, the viewer's eye back over here where it should be.
yeah, okay.
And stuff. Good to hear from you, Monica, too. Okay, this is the same sand color down here, wet, but it's gonna be up here too, in some of the shadows. And this is where we start to dig into that green right here and stuff. Really, this is the kind of stuff where you just have to put it in and kind of lift your brush halfway through this dark and trying to get it to stop in the right area, have the paint stop going on at the right place. So I started doing that, and then I'll just go, right here, I start to pick up my brush and just let it rock a little bit and start to get a little bit of that happening. And that was probably the hardest stroke of the whole painting, I think. Otherwise, this stuff, if I get the colors underneath a little stronger now, as we were talking before about putting in this color here, I put it in really thin and sort of was trying to make a few little indications for myself later when I started getting thicker paint on here like this, of where the stuff is going to go, like where I want strokes to end and things like that. That's sort of what I was looking for too, I guess. Up there, I didn't communicate it right, because it's one of those things I just kind of do and I didn't even think about it. But it really kind of helps me tell my brush, tell me where I got to start, stopping the brush. This dark comes down here just a little farther, right into here, into that section. This gets a little lighter in here. Darken in back in here a little bit more.
Huh.
Just softening that edge, and then when I can clean it up a little bit more. Okay, let's see. Just going through my colors, it almost starts to take me right through them. Except for I don't want to put my grass greens in next. So I'm gonna have to start going to a little bit more of this stuff. That's when I got most of this work done with this thing, my big brush here. You thank your brush and you put it away. Go to your next brush, which will be a nice big 12 anyway. Pretty big brush. It's not the right size. Oh, there it is. All right, gotta make sure I have the right size. Too small brush. Okay. I need to start coming in with just a little more redder tones, a little bit about the same value, but probably just a little more on the red side here. So this is like some of this is that section I was messing up color wise where I mixed with little phthalo green and cad red and a lot of white stuff. So that's what these colors areas are when I grade them out. When I put these guys in, I'm going to put them in almost like brick by brick. You know, you kind of little section them off a little bit. Make sure you don't, just leave I'm just leaving a little space like in between the strokes. But that's really what I see there anyway. And getting to this top edge here. Now it's going to start mixing a little bit, which I can push back farther. There we go. I'm just going to tone in this color a little bit more now. Because it's going to go lighter, but for the footprints and stuff, I don't want to do every footprint. You know, who wants to paint every footprint? Monica might. She might.
Yeah, right.
Gonna try to get around as much as possible. Look for the big stuff. Kind of forget the little stuff a little bit. I think I'm gonna get a lot done with this one color. It just looks like it kind of goes everywhere. And then when you do get a good, you pull this down, sometimes you're gonna get a, some nice little, paint reactions together. Sometimes those are just probably better than what really is there. So instead of going back over it, trying to get that one, I'm just going to leave it and just, go past, see what else I can do. I'm going to lighten it up just a hair here. Run it down here. It's a little pinkier than this one. This is, I think, of my red on my printers just run out a little bit. Probably gonna have to get some, definitely probably get some new print here. Inks. And just small little shifts of color. This is when nice because of, we did take that one big pile of paint. I split it up and I just added just a little bit of warmth on red on one and a little ochre on one and a little orange on one. Just those little changes of color at the same value and stuff, really make it easy to get in here and, change a highlight, put a highlight in at the same value. But just because it's warmer, it's just going to kick up and, do play well with the other colors. And it's not going to have to be like, full strength. I mean, I'm not like mixing up another color or anything. I'm just putting in this, basically just a warmer, something, just a slightly warmer tone. Mixed from the same thing, like that one. There's a hair that bright. Bring it up so it's not lonely. Here we go. Just working there too much, and then pretty much not going to touch that middle. That middle's, of this, that shapes it. Just touching a few things on the outside here on the grass here a little bit, just to break up the shape. There is stuff there, but not too much. I'm gonna get that a little bit pinkier right here at the bottom. Okay. So let's see, I was going to kind of stayed warmer back there, a little more grayer, mostly in here. It's almost like a rock, this thing. It's really like a rock, So. Building it little by little. There we go. So that's that section a little bit. A little more. Breaking it up a little bit. Okay. So you're with me, Lynette? You done, with this?
It's like a mushed up watercolor painting.
Well, at this point, yeah, mine is too. Mine is definitely. Or you were just making comment about mine, weren't you?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Hey, where's Lisa?
I have no idea. Lisa, she's probably at a cottage up in Wisconsin or something, Anyway. All right. So not painting every brush, every footstep. So I'm just going to go back and forth with when I put this thing in. And I'll just forget about those guys. Okay. Then I come down here, this section here, like I said, just warm it up. That's in the reds. This is going to be more in the oranges. Coming down here. I probably could have done a few more mid-tones in here. But there's not a whole lot here. This is where I was talking about, getting into the grass and stuff, just taking the sand color and just dragging it into the grasses, and it just makes all the waves, starts to do all this kind of stuff. So kind of works pretty well with just the kind of haphazardly putting it in approach. Here, I'm just looking for a couple fat, kind of long strokes here. And I'm trying to get some real paint on my brush for this, where I can let it up, push it again down, and just let all the paint out of it. Try to get a little more thicks and thins going on as I go. Just over here. And then I was saying over here in this little section here, that's where I want to go with a little cooler white or more yellow in it, brighter color right in here in this section, just coming right in here. So I do separate out these, the flow of this thing right here. Did not put the feet print in as much as I could have. So, but those are just mid-tones. Probably go back in with some of this cad red and phthalo green mix here. Just barely, draw a few lines in here. And the thing is, on these lines, if they're feet, you almost gotta kind of, put one there, almost like putting in bricks. You put one up top, you put another one next to it, and then you put one beside it underneath as you go down this thing. Make it work. And I'm just gonna twist my brush off at the end on these things. Bring in a little more color on the outside here. Gray it out. So I start getting a little more, just a little more distance. And start to dig out a little bit of the plants here. Definitely don't want to dig, I don't want to make these grasses the focal point. So I really am not going to, dig real hard at getting these things. I just want to separate out some things. Basically, so it's not a big clunky shape, too much of a clunky shape at the bottom here. So I can lighten it up a little bit, some of these grasses, and break out a few things into just some simple little forms, but not get too carried away. And not putting really like too bright of colors down here or intense colors. Keep everything pretty muted, pretty not too much of anything back here. Just small little shapes that have some nice little pointers on them to push you around. Okay, I'm gonna have to lighten up that front end here a little bit more. Sand here. Then now I'm getting to my lighter colors. I need to bring something down here if I can get too far away from each other. Yeah, bring it back down. It's going to just go off, not off the side of the thing. I don't want these shapes to separate. I don't want this shape up here to be by itself. I want it to still connect here. So that's why I was working with on the outside here, just bringing it back in, making sure I have, it doesn't just take off and just become a shape, because then it becomes important. And then it's like, then you have to look at the feet prints and things like that. I might still have to go in and put in some. Definitely probably will, but I don't want to put in too many. Just want to get a couple, really find the edges on this outside thing. This is almost like a crown, and just figure out where the points are, standing out, and really, those would be the top edge, and really they'll keep this thing together. Even though it'll separate the top from the bottom, but it'll give it some dimension. Okay. All right. Lighten that down one more time right here. And down. Okay. Use a little bit of that sand color. One of these sand colors, the little one looks a little pinkier than the others. The edge of the water here. I haven't put any grasses in yet. Still haven't put the wave in. So just working on these guys little by little, just break them up. So okay. I'm gonna go with a bristle brush now. From my bigger bristle brush. Start thinking about putting in some of these waves first. Some of the white ones. I'm gonna put them in with put a little green underneath them, little green. I'm gonna try this ochre and blue with white. It's on the ochre side, kind of a green. And I'm gonna put that kind of where I'm thinking where the big shapes of the waves are right here. Where I'm going across here. Put those guys in where I think they're gonna fall. Just let the bristle brush just kind of open up as I, pull back here. Putting them in with green first, and then I'm gonna come back and put a little pink on top of them, and pink white on top of them. And I think that's just gonna work out really well. So yeah, go a little cooler back here instead of doing the ochre, all the ochre yellow. I mean, in favor in blue. Maybe this is a little bit more on the blue side on the back in here. It doesn't really show. So. Okay. All right. I don't know if I even made up that pink. That's okay. I think I can use some of my sand colors I got here. Add some white to them. I think I can get that same color I need. Let me see. Got some white. Right, but so putting it in with some color. In fact, I'm using a little bit of her blanket color in this. So it's a little pinkier than it should be. Let's see if that works. I'm gonna clean my brush. I'm gonna put some oil on it. Definitely want it to go in here hard with a lot of paint. So I got this thing. I'm gonna shove it forward. My brush forward first. Put it down and shove it forward, and then when I pull it back, I'm just gonna flick it. Not quite as hard as that first one. Little pinky, too pinky. Let me try this. Yeah, this is a little bit better. Let me try that again. Just push them back, pull them back a little bit. Here, I just got to just wiggle it as I come back. Let it come off. Yeah, it was a nice try. I was trying it. I thought it was going to work. See, the more you play with it, usually the worse it gets. So just go on to the back one. I already have the dark put in. I'm just going to put in the rest of that wave. This is that, just a little bit of that same color I used here. Oop. For the waves. And I'm just basically putting my bristle down and just kind of barely touching it and dragging it down here, making some marks just to disturb the paint. And same over here.
Those waves are so believable.
Really?
Yeah, to me they are anyway. What do you
Good.
gals think, Lynette, Monica?
Of course, they're excellent.
They just, I mean, yeah, they're and
Okay.
the simple brush strokes, I think
It just looks simple.
yeah, the simple brush strokes just make them more believable.
Thank you.
You know, the gesture.
And leaving them alone. Yeah, the more you play with these things, usually the more uncrisp they get and more muddled they get very quickly. So let's just leave those guys for now. Maybe I'll come back in. I think there's going to be probably needs a little thicker paint in the middle of the foam, usually right on the edge. And I think that's going to be a little bit more paler green in that. And I think that's going to be nice. I think that'll really finish it off.
Yeah.
Now it's just putting in some grasses and figuring out putting the girl in. We've got a little bit of time for that, so let's get going. Quit playing around. These are just, yeah, upward strokes, pushing down, upward strokes just to break that, line of the brush. So it doesn't look like, I have a line going around here perfectly with the brush. I'm not doing exactly what I really am doing, So it looks just a little bit, and then giving a couple higher ones. And then I'm going to dress this up probably with a little greener, some more greens coming in. This color is the back at the very beginning, almost the phthalo green and oxide red color on the red side. Just going in here and being a few more of these grasses sticking out now that I have everything kind of, pushed together and soft. Now it's just to bring out a few of these grasses here to run those over these top edges. And of course, this bristle brush works pretty good for that because it's so hairy and kind of doesn't have a lot of control when you start getting these lines and pushing it down. It kind of does what it wants a little bit, it breaks. So just getting a few of these grasses in. That's the thing, is don't get carried away with, pieces of grass at this point. You've got to stay with what the whole painting has been, you've been doing through the whole painting. It's just how much you've been, what you've been picking out to do and what you have been letting to sit. You start picking out little things at this time to pay attention to. You start to overwork your painting very quickly. So Monica, you had trouble with the gray dog?
Yes.
I tell
I
you,
guess-
it's not, you haven't painted. So, just to even, that's a, it's not a, the subtleties in that one it makes it tough.
Right.
So I can see, why you were having trouble with it. But I think you're overreacting too. I think it was what you had there was pretty good. I think you jumped the gun about worrying about it. I think you could, a lot of times painting and stuff, you learn by trying to fix things. So you don't give up on anything, just keep working on them. And then because you're going to keep learning all the way through. And what you might not have a super successful painting when you're done, but what you've learned and what you can put away in your will help all your other paintings. So
Thank you.
Don't think of it as a loss. It's never your fault. Remember, there's always something else you gotta blame.
It's the teacher's fault.
Oh, it was a bad
The
video.
teacher, right?
Yeah, it was the teacher's fault again. It was a bad video. I cannot believe they couldn't understand him. He sounds so squirrely. I understand that. There we go. That's good. I can take the blame. I'm good at that. I'll take the blame on yours. I can't take it on mine, though. That's the whole thing. It's tough for me to take it. I'm a baby when it comes to taking that kind of stuff. I run and hide. But I'll take yours, but I won't take my own. So maybe we can have a deal. You will switch off. You can. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I'm just using this big brush trying to get these kind of sections of this grass and seeing the warm areas and layering these guys down. So now I'm kind of have this kind of a blue green on my brush here, and I'm just looking at trying to get teeny little kind of a few hairs going down here and watch grasses going around here, and how they kind of just lay over each other and trying to get which ones go where depth wise. Like, some of these ones that go in the middle here just have a little more darkness to them, warmth, darkness, and not really going in really great with that big brush. Maybe if I put them in with my knife a little bit now, I can get a little bit of, satisfaction of, stroke and stuff to start to create another whole kind of texture field in this painting, which will, make everything else look a little different too. Every time you add another texture to these things, you complicate it, and then when you look, because this texture is in the front, so it's kind of easy to put in. That's why I didn't put these guys in too heavily, because I knew I could just they were just going to be like strokes with the knife and
So
feel
you're
happy.
you're using both the side of the blade and the tip.
Yeah, I put it on there a little bit on one side.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, it depends on how I want it. The first one, if I want to get it going this way, I'll put it in,
Uh-huh.
and then then you start getting a little scratchier
Uh-huh.
with it. And that's the thing, is the nice thing. It's a little haphazard. Sometimes it's going to come off in the right places. Sometimes it's not. So it's always, when I'm doing these, I'm really paying attention to what just came off. And if it's good enough, that's good. I'm done. But sometimes I'll just keep till that paint comes off. Sometimes it just doesn't come off right away. And you just got to keep pushing it till the paint comes off. And just hoping it comes off in a good spot, that you don't have to, wipe off and redo, or, blame Monica for it. I'll blame her every time. That's Monica's fault. That's Monica. It's her fault. Lynette, it's your fault this time.
Yes, Lynette.
All right,
Well-
Lynette, you're closer.
I just moved everything out of my sand dune. I'm a bad sand dune painter, so I
Uh-oh.
pushed it. I'm wiping it all down.
No. Really?
Yes,
My
yes.
goodness, Lynette.
It's a wreck.
First of all, you said that you're a bad sand dune painter, which suggests you've done many before. But
Aha.
I have a hard time imagining you doing anything poorly.
Oh, that is very sweet of you, but I knew this was not a good idea for me to try. It's a wreck.
All right. Let me see, Lynette. Let me
No,
see. a wreck.
I just pushed it all out.
All right. Well, the rest of this class is going to be fun.
Sorry about
Well, and I didn't paint, so
I know.
wh-
So it's
what have
like,
we got here?
I know. And that's always the thing about these summer classes. I'm going to get a few where everybody's gone at once and no one can make it.
Yeah.
So
Well, I detailed the color mixes, which was good, and then I did make some additional notes here. So I'm going to give this one a go.
oh, thanks. I need somebody to do this one. Please.
Well, Lynette
Now
did.
that-
She's just denying her ability.
Oh,
I'm not a sand dune painter.
just like that.
This
Okay.
turned in, now it's green.
Oh, a green dune.
Yeah, I have a green dune.
I did that all weekend with these guys up in Michigan. I had them playing with phthalo green a lot, and yeah, they were all complaining about their stuff turning green. I go, come on, Okay. What can I do?
It took me a long time. Oh, no, see, that's good. It took me a long time in your classes to figure out how strong phthalo green really is.
Yeah. Especially when you start getting on your face, right? Oh my
Yeah, slow learner.
God.
Oh, well,
Yes, it is tough. It's a goofy little color. Monica, have you had trouble with phthalo green out there? Are you guys using the right good colors?
I had trouble yesterday actually because
Yeah.
I was trying to mix it with orange, and when you mixed it, you got kind of brownish, but
Red,
I
brown,
was
yeah.
I was getting green. No matter what I did, it was just green.
Yeah, that's always going to be probably, it's one of those things. It's so powerful. You compared to knowing what orange you have
The
to
same
really
exact orange as you
just,
do.
yeah, if you're going to have a real, I got a professional grade orange.
Me too.
And yeah, so
I'm just
it's going,
lacking your abilities.
yes. Oh, you got a professional grade orange too?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
same brushes.
Yeah, it's just learning the mixes. Then I mean, then it's just learning the amounts. What that's not bad. That happens. That's just a little thing. You'll get that then. I was giving you an out there too. I was just going, maybe she'll say, yeah, I got these, student grade colors, like what with the cheap stuff. And that's the reason. That's my reasoning. I know it's going to be great. Just damn paint. All right. It's starting to get there. I still think I got to get another pink in here. I'm probably going to have to paint a few of those little deep prints up there. A few of them. I mean, that's the thing is on these things. Who cares? Right? Except for me. I care, but no one else. So I'm just going to pull out that towel there. And I want to go probably think of this line here between the edge of the painting and the dune, as a length, and trying to break that down into 2/3 and 1/3, so 1/3 is right here, 2/3 is right here. That's where you want her, right about here on that line. You don't want to put her in the middle of this thing. You'd like keep her over a little closer, but not quite as close as she is. So I'm just going to pull out a little bit of her legs here.
You can always paint a dog instead of a human.
Wow. You might. Don't you laugh at that. That's not funny, Lynette.
well,
Lynette.
Monica loves dogs, so there.
She does. She's a
well,
good.
I do too.
She came around just in time. Forced me to start painting more dogs, more animals. She goes, forget about these beautiful landscapes. Paint a wet mud. So, hey, okay. This is pretty easy. At least, let me see if I needed to. I probably could take her a little bit bigger and take her right to there. I'm racing out paint that's barely coming out. I put this paint is pretty thin. I did not have to put it on very thick, so that's much better. That way I can get a nice clean shadow in there. Now this is really good. This is what I'm already talking about it being done. What I'm looking for in sorry. Oh, here's my I'm looking for those. They're right there. In the shadow. This is a red brown shadow. That shadow underneath her is a red, dark red brown one. So yeah, that's gonna be this alizarin in blue, and it has just a little cad red into it, right? And I'm just gonna run it here. And I'm gonna flatten out my blade because I want to end it with a sharp edge right here. Pretty close. I would have had just a touch more oil on my brush. I think that would have been, it would have went in cleaner. Got a nice edge. And that's the thing, is just knowing when you do something wrong, the reason you did it. I mean, why it went in wrong. Okay. So she's going in, like I said, with the cad red. Get a little more cad red in that mix of alizarin and blue. Skinny little feet. You know, this brush just a little bit big. I'm gonna have to, boy, just a touch heavy. Too big for what I wanted to do. See, brush's fault, not mine. Just like that. Yeah, those legs should be sticks. All right, too big a brush. Let's get rid of that one. Let's go to a smaller brush for the head. Like I was talking a few things about doing her hair here. Just a little red dot, dark, warm red dot for her head. And then just putting a little bit of little spot for a highlight above her head on her top of her hair. So all right, I'm gonna put in, this is how you put in, I'm gonna put in that towel, just put it in pretty much going for the dark version of it first. So it's just a little bit lighter than she is. On both sides. Okay. So not much difference there. I'm probably just going to darken in this edge of this because it got some folds going on here. This end, so it just gets a little bit more purple, blue, purple going into that color. And bring it back into her body too. Make body a little darker. Well, that's about it. Everything else is getting. Brush spot it. Now I'm just going to go with the lighter red version of I did, where I added some more cad red and just a little bit of white to it. That's going to go right up against into her, and it's going to start to shape her in the in the brightness of the thing. So it's going to go in that corner, pull it out, start getting that transparency going. A little bit more on this side. Okay. Now I just got to go back and forth, really, just a little bit. And, yeah. Put it in, and then just blend it a couple spots, strokes. Then if we did want to do like you said, we were talking about any,
A dog?
yes, you could put a dog in next to her. You want to do that?
Only a splashing dog.
Well, I could have one out here. I could put one out here. Let's see. We'll see.
Jim,
But,
I have to sign off, but I really appreciated this evening and I'll see you soon.
Thanks. You're great to have here. Thanks a lot.
Ciao, everybody.
All right.
Hey,
All right. So I'm the last one going here. So let's just finish this girl off. I gotta probably go back in here and clean up the water underneath her feet a little bit. I mean, just to, get the shape right here. Just get a little bit, a little bit less on this side, a little bit more on top. Making sure things line up too. A little too big a head, knock it down. There we go. That's much better. Now I can use a little teeny brush or a knife. Come back in and put these legs in. I can use that as a leg and then just put the other one really skinny. And just a little more paint in between the legs. Then just using a little thickness of the thing, I can just create, if I follow everything, just follow a line of the, there we go. You got this, Lynette?
I don't even like my grasses.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, it's not your fault.
Well, I'm not sure about that. He is the teacher.
Yeah. Oh. All of a sudden, you guys start to gang up. That's no good. That's no good at all. What happened? What happened? You guys were so nice. Okay.
I think I would have done better had I done it vertically on a big.
Yeah, you did. Remember, you called what you were going to do ahead of time.
Yeah, I did the horizontal, and it's a little harder, and then my colors didn't mix well. So, but that's my problem.
No, it's not. It's teacher's problem, right? It's his problem. He should have got you off that. He should have said, "Don't do that. Don't encourage. Just do it anyway."
Oh,
just trying to keep it from getting stiff here. When you start painting people in that are like this, they get really stiff if you paint them too heavy with a brush. So I'm just bringing in the color a little bit simpler, a little bit simpler. I almost painted this weekend with these guys up in Michigan, and they said, "Please, no." So I left it for you guys, and maybe they were right. Maybe they're a lot smarter than I, up there in Michigan. Maybe should have paid attention.
But you got that double horse thing coming up. That looks real hard.
Oh God, it, it's summer, and I just was figuring, not everybody's gonna be able to paint all the time, so give them the hard ones, because then I don't have, get them out of the way. Ones that, that's about it. That's what I was thinking.
That's okay. I'm just a complainer, whiner, and moaner.
Yeah, you really are. You are,
Are you gonna paint that blue guy that's kind of attached to the horses?
Oh, that one. Oh, I don't know. I haven't really looked very hard at that one. I mean, I just, picked it out because I said, well, 2 horses, yeah, that's impossible to get done in a couple hours. Let's do it. Yeah, the guy, that's adding a whole nother level of problems to it, isn't it? Somebody sent me a cropping, I thought, of just the horses. And I thought maybe, maybe something like that. What do you think?
Sometimes I've got good ideas. Just sometimes.
Okay. Well, that was might be, when I get there, I think it's that might even be next weekend or next week. Yeah. After we do a plein air on Saturday, do that, come back and do something hard. Oh boy. That's really smart. I'm just, I'll figure it out. So
who's coming to plein air?
I think I'm gonna have to look. It might not even be hardly anybody. I think everybody's coming to the one for the August.
Oh,
Seems like a lot. Are you gonna be there?
I'm coming even though I'm going to be exhausted, I'm coming on Saturday.
Okay, I think yeah, I know Rosemary, Rosemary there is coming. She's signed up for it. And I'm looking at who else. I'm sure we probably can twist Lisa's arm and a few other people's who can be around. Can't give these guys that much love. I'm just kind of overdoing it already. I'm just starting to see, put in all this extra stuff that's just bringing those guys forward. Just stop it. Last little thing. So probably go back into these couple of these foothills here. Put a few foot marks. And there's just like weaves, I'll tell you, just looking at them, just making sure when you put them in that you're not putting them in, like a checkerboard or anything, that you kind of turn one here this way, one turns this way a little bit, and don't go like I did, don't go all the way to the back, just do halfway up or something like that. And that's all you have to do on these guys. And then just go back and just soften it, and break that line. Break a couple lines there. Maybe get a hot line there. This girl, I just kind of, she's a little clunky. That's okay.
Do you paint every day?
A lot of times I do something every day. It might not be, like a painting. It
Mhm.
might be just glazing or
Mhm.
that kind of stuff. Nothing like, or retouching a little bit, not touching up a few but nothing. Not there's like I'll start like one or two paintings a week, but the ones I get a lot of love, but everything else is just keeping going, just keeping busy. A little more warm green back in this last thing. Showing through. That's about it. Take a couple warm ones up here, just for the top grasses here. Break this thing up. They're a little heavy. All right, I'll bring you guys in for a little close up on it. You guys can say, "Oh, what were you thinking?" Nice.
It's another masterpiece already. Gee.
Yeah.
But that's
Oh.
why we take your classes.
Oh, thanks, Lynette. You can see that's why I let you take them, because you're so good. Anyway, here you can start to see. Yeah, she needs a lot of work. I gotta get bend her around a little bit. She looks like a bat, And then back in here, you can start seeing it, the color. Yeah, see if you got to get in so close to be able to see that color in there, that those aren't pure whites that I'm using. And you can start to see the separation of how I try to bring this down as one color, this over as one color, and this down up here, back down to that point in slightly a lighter, different color too. That's it. That's what you do. You just bend things around. And what time is it? Wow, it's 9:30, just like that.
Wow.
Lynette, you want to show since you're the only one here?
Oh, okay. Well, it looks like I'm a second grader, basically. And anyway, it's.
Oh,
I'm thinking of scrubbing it out and doing it vertically and on a bigger
Okay.
one. It's just, I had scrubbed a lot out, so.
I can see where you went wrong. I know exactly when you mixed up those phthalo greens and the alizarin back there. Yeah, you needed probably a lot more white in that color.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Lot more white, and probably a little bit, little closer mix of in between. I mean, you probably got a little bit more too green on the top and almost too reddish on the bottom. So you almost have to push both those guys closer to the middle of each other.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I
Yeah.
honestly don't know that I have the energy to continue because I have this webinar coming up. So, but it's
No. You don't get away with
Well,
that.
I want to go back to the dog. I think I could do a good job. I have a really good dog. So,
Okay. No,
yeah.
you have a great start on him. And I definitely, go back to your dog and finish him up. Make it
Yeah.
Maddie. Make it Maddie.
Oh, that's
Which
a good
dog are you painting?
The one from was it last week or the week before?
Oh my gosh, Lynette, look at those.
Oh,
Those
well,
are
this
gorgeous.
is, yeah, that's my.
That's your winner. That's the big winner she's going to put out there. That looks so much better than your photo too.
Oh, good. Yeah, and then I really enjoyed this one. This was fun.
You did great on that.
I love that
I mean,
one. And so here's the dog. I think that there's hope for that dog.
I think everything's in place. It's really just getting
Yeah.
in there and working that that fur and things, I think you're gonna be fine.
Yeah, so I'm kind of excited about it. I think the water's looking good too. So
Okay.
anyway, I'm
Well, I
old.
think, well, hey, we all are. Okay. Okay, everybody stop spotlight. I'm gonna say, okay, well, that's it. What nice painting, Lynette.
Well, yeah, I may scrub out, so we'll see.
Okay. Well, and Monica, thanks for showing, and Anne Marie for showing it up too. The rest of those guys are bums.
Yeah.
But anyway, hey, we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah.
And we'll start another one.
Thanks a lot. See you on Saturday.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
Thank
Night.
you too. Bye.
Bye.